All right, so today we're going to just go over, review the expectations of the internship program. We're going to talk about 3 best practices. We're going to develop solutions to problems that may come up with your intern, and we're going to begin to build a plan for your intern's first day. And both of you guys have hosted interns before, and you know a lot of this, and you've done a really great job. So I'm sure we'll breeze through. So here's the agenda for the day. And I wanted to just review the People's Prep mission because I think it's super important when we're talking about preparing our students for the world of work. I don't think we can actually meet this mission without having the internship program. So the mission is that we prepare all of our students to graduate from the college of their choice as informed, involved, and resilient citizens. As you can see, I really don't think students can be informed, involved, or resilient if they haven't had the experiences that they've had with you. And so because we were having trouble last year with the way that the internship program was structured in terms of students having to miss class and things like that, we restructured the program so now it's an elective. And they won't have to miss class and they will get credit for this class. And I also think that it helps us better meet our mission by structuring the program this way. So this year's internships twice per week instead of once, 2:30 to 5 p.m. The days will either be Tuesday or Thursday or Monday or Wednesday, depending on the week. Another change is that we're going to have an employer fair instead of individual interviews, which I'll talk about later. And like I mentioned before, interns will receive credit and will be graded, and I'll share with you how that will work in a moment as well. So before we dive into specifics, I just want to remind you that before the interns start, they're going to receive training for 10 hours before beginning the internship. So that will happen in the elective, and it'll be the first 3 weeks of school. And then every other Friday, they'll meet with me to do continuing training on various topics. These are the things that they will learn prior to starting with you. And if your intern, like I know Gadget, you're going to have Jerome again. So like he will have like versions of these topics that aren't repeats from last year, so I'll differentiate it if they're returning interns and make it more rigorous. And then students will learn Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, phone skills, and research skills later, among other things. And I say Microsoft Word and Excel, but we're likely going to teach them Google Sheets and Google Docs because that's easier with our Chromebooks. So if your intern doesn't know these skills yet or hasn't had the lesson, you might want to make sure you set aside time if you're asking your intern to use these skills in order to teach them the basics. So let's talk about scheduling a little bit and go a little deeper. So students will come in, as I mentioned, twice per week from approximately 2:40 to 5 p.m. If you aren't, or anyone in your office won't be there, or you're canceling youth court, or you're canceling Jerome for the day, please let me know as soon as you know, because this year we're going to try to implement job shadowing and things like that for interns whose supervisors can't host them for a week. So if we know enough in advance, we can place them at a potential partner's job site so that they can job shadow, and that job site can get to know us and decide if they want to be an internship placement for 2017-2018. Also, if you guys have events and things, you know that if we get parent approval and permission slip, then your intern can work in off hours as well. And then after this slide, I'm gonna just pause for questions, but this is just like a sample schedule, so it's a little bit more clear when your intern will come in. So People's Prep has block scheduling, and so let's say that your intern has internship class on an A day. Let's say Monday begins with an A day, so they'll go to their internship from 2:45 to 5. And then Tuesday they won't have their internship because that's a B day. Wednesday they'll come again. Thursday they won't have their internship, and that Friday they'll remain in school and participate in professional development. And then the following week, Monday, will begin with a B day, so they'll come in Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I'm going to pause for a second and ask if you guys have any questions. So you can see my face again. If you have any questions, I don't know if audio is working for everybody. All right, I'm going to go back to sharing my screen. If you think of any questions, feel free to type them into the box, and I can see them right when I pop out of the screen sharing window. Answer them right away. Rating system for how and some slides it says page 7. I'm going to share with you this webinar all the documents that I would have given to you if you were a new supervisor, such as supervisor handbook, first aid checklist, and things like that that you all got last year. So you'll have this with you, and I can also share these slides. So every month you guys fill out the supervisor surveys about your intern. Those are going to be test grades, so it's super important that those get filled out. You guys were both great about doing that last year. Thank you so much. They were all very helpful. This year it'll be a test grade for them. Additionally, their attendance at the internship and school behavior will be quiz grade. And then the categories, I can go into detail individually if you guys want to know more about what is the interim, what are the projects, scoreboards, exit tickets, and journals. But in the interest of time, just know that you don't need to worry about those things, just the supervisor survey. So let's dive deeper into that. So this is a new question this year that will be on the survey that will be the grade that they will get. So I kind of did it as a 95, 85, 75, or not yet, an A, B, C, or essentially an F. We don't call it that, we call it a not yet, because we know students are not yet. You will be able to select one of these options, and that will be their grade. I try to make it as easy as possible because I know that some months are busier than others, and if you don't have time to give them the grade or to say anything else besides give them the grade, then it's just important that you fill this out. But of course, if you can't fill out the whole survey, it's always better so that I can make sure students get the feedback they need. So essentially an A is just that the intern is always on time, gets along well with others, gets work done on time, and goes above and beyond. So they only get an A if they're really taking initiative and doing everything great. A B is for all the interns that are just doing their thing, they're doing it all right, mostly gets the work done on time, but may not be taking initiative yet. And then I don't anticipate anyone to get below that, but we know that they might, so you can feel free to look over those scores as well. And also, if you want to give them a different grade or want to explain the grade, you can also do that as well. I didn't put 100 there because I know that not anyone is perfect. Everyone always has room to grow, so I didn't feel that giving your intern 100 would be appropriate all the time. But if you feel like your intern's really gone above and beyond a certain month, then I wouldn't be opposed to giving them that grade. You just need to justify it. This is the observation form, mostly the same as last year, not going to be for a grade. So it's just for purely feedback purposes, and that's simply, because I won't be able to observe every intern every quarter, so they won't all be able to have the same, or to have that as a grade. And I also think it's important that they don't feel nervous when I come in to observe them. Great, so I'm gonna, before I dive into expectations, flip back to see if you guys have any questions. So I don't see any on the screen, But again, please feel free to type the questions. Jasmine, if you are watching on YouTube, please feel free to email me the questions. I'm just checking to see if you have sent me an email. Awesome. So let me go back to the slides. Okay. All right. Here are the organizations as a review. So everyone should develop a short job. So I think if you're having Jerome, there's no need to do that. If you did want to open it up to other people, then let me know and we can work on that. You'll agree to host the intern for the entirety of the school year by returning your agreement form, which you've already done. Agree to and follow our behavior and academic policy, which you do and have already done, of course. And allow me to visit when the intern is working. You are all good on those. Attending the Employer Fair Mocktail Mixer Internship Showcase and End of Year event will be important. And I'll talk about all of those in a bit. Completing the surveys. If, you know, this is kind of irrelevant if you're just having Jerome, since he understands the workplace culture, so we'll skip that one. Give your intern ongoing tasks or independent work that they can do should you not be in the office one day. So I mentioned that we might have job shadowing placements for interns to go to if you guys aren't around, because I know there were a couple of times where like you guys were all out for meetings and things like that. But if that doesn't work out, then it's important that like Jerome or, you know, has tasks that he can work on, or, you know, things that he can do from the school in case you guys aren't there. And then make sure you sign off on your interns' hours each time they come in. And we'll try to make sure that Jerome's thing that he added to the app, the check-in feature, goes live for early on in the year, so that can be the way that students sign in, so you don't have to worry about signing off. And then trying to meet with your intern for a quick check-in meeting, which I know you guys do. And of course, if your intern's more than 10 minutes late, please let me know via email, call, or text. So here is one of the new things for this year, the employer fair. So so on September 15th or 16th, depending on the day that you guys are coming, what will happen is starting at 3, students will come down to the cafeteria and they'll circulate to visit as many employers as possible at the beginning, just to get a sense of who's there, speak to them. You guys will be stationed at a table. You can bring anything that you want about your organization, but it's not really necessary. The most important thing is that you just bring some. I'll give you a sheet of paper to make, and also that you have in mind interview questions that you want to ask students that are potential interns. So there will be 3 rounds of individual interviews or group interviews depending on interest. That will be 15 minutes each, starting at 3:28. During those interviews, you should ask like your highest leverage questions that you can figure out who would be the best fit for your organization. And then at the end, students can revisit organizations that maybe they found out about at the beginning that they weren't able to interview with. You can again make notes of students who stand out to you. And then at the end, you'll submit your list of top 5 students that you'd like for your internship to me. And I will, the next week, kind of try to fit students into internships. And then, of course, I mentioned the mocktail mixer. And what will happen this year is it'll be earlier in the year, on October 26th at the same place, from 4 to 6 p.m. And this year we have clearer goals, I think. So one of the goals is for students to find a placement that they'd like to job shadow at some point during the year. So we're doing it early so that we can make sure that gets scheduled. And then a goal for employers is to, of course, connect with that student, but also to connect with at least one other adult who can help you professionally or who you can help. The internship showcase, 10 of your, it says 2 to 6. I think it'll be from 3 to 6. Same deal as last. Students will be able to prepare in class. So like in the meantime, just make sure you're helping your intern compile work that they've done and that you're taking pictures of them if necessary. So again, I'm gonna pause, and if you have questions, see if there are any that you have. Okay, I don't see any. Great. So moving right along. All right. So here are some reminders to go over best practices for just, to refresh everybody's memory. So one reminder is that your intern may need help learning how to contact you. For most of our students, this is their first real job. So make sure that on the first day you exchange and physically put numbers into cell phones and explain expectations around calling if they're running late or can't come in. So do you want them to call, text, email? How soon in advance do you need to know? Again, a reminder that it's really important to train your intern on everything, even just the simple tasks like answering the phone or meeting with clients or other coworkers, and even like role play it or show them how you would do it before they do it. And then, of course, on the first day, making sure that you're really bonding with your intern, introducing them to the other colleagues, reviewing their job description, and doing all of the first day getting to know you tasks. Again, so just like last year, it's just the intern can interview you using this handout just to get to know you a little bit more, and then you can even interview them back. And then there's also a goal setting worksheet, which is the same as last year. So it takes their long-term goal, turns it into like what are the activities that they can actually do with their internship to help them meet both the short and long-time goals, and even like what are the barriers that could prevent it, and how do we prevent that from happening. Great, so we're kind of at the end. So the supervisor focus group we had last year, and I know that Jamie and Michelle at Gadget were in the focus group last year. We're going to do it again. On the sign-in sheet that I emailed you earlier, you can sign up to be in it again or not be. It's really up to you and like how busy your schedules are. It'll be the same goals as last year. Basically, we'll meet monthly for about an hour. It'll be heavily focused on event planning this year, and then like helping with organization and company retention. But I really want to make sure that the group does, the things that they're good at and what they want to do. So these goals could absolutely change after the first meeting. But I always love help, and if you guys want to be on it again, I would love to have you. And then also, we're going to do intern learning groups again this year. You guys, Gadget was the only one that did it last year, but I think it went really well. And so we'll try to do it like the same way, like there'll be an objective and a little workshop. So if you guys want to do that again, if anyone would like to do that again, you can also sign up for that, and I'll be in touch with possible dates for that. So after training today, just make sure that you're firming up your first day plan for your intern, which will be September 26th or 27th. Decide who at your office will be completing the monthly check-in, since it is a test grade, and also figuring out your highest leverage questions for our employer fair on September 15th or 16th. At the end, when we're done, please, if you have a job description that you haven't sent me, email it to me. Make sure you sign in and either sign up for the supervisor focus group or learning group session, or both or none. It's up to you. I think you both have signed up for the employer fair, and please make sure you ask me any questions. So that was it. So I think I think it's just us. Rachel actually saw an email from Jasmine that she couldn't join. So if you have any questions, you can type them in the box, or if you want, I can call you and we can go over it, since it was really just us the whole time. But if you could just type something and say, like, I'm good, or like, I got it, that would be great, so that, or if you have questions and want me to call you, I can totally call you, and we can talk it through. So just let me know. But otherwise, that was it. Awesome. So no questions, all looks great. Awesome. Okay, great. So thank you so much for listening, Rachel. I'm so sorry there were technical difficulties. I'll have to figure that out because I'm doing one next week. I have no idea what happened. But I hope you have a great day, and I'm sure that we will talk soon. Have a good one. Adios.